Hi guys, so today's video is a video on my eyebrow routine, and this is just how I fill in my eyebrows, how I keep them shaped, and I like to use eyeshadows when filling in my eyebrows. I feel like it gives a much natural, softer look. So the two eyeshadows that I like to use are from MAC, and they are called Omega and Coquette, and I just mix them together. I like to use cooler colors when I'm doing my eyebrows. I feel like it looks better on me. If you have dark hair, it's recommended to go like a shade lighter, and if you have light hair, then I would recommend going a shade darker. But it really is about preference and what you prefer and how you like your eyebrows to look. So also I like to use a MAC 263 brush. It's just a synthetic angled brush, and it's really like fine. Love this brush for filling them in. A couple other tools that I like to use are my Tweezerman Tweezers, and I just use this. I sort of just keep the shape of my eyebrow the way that it is, and then I clean up around the edges, pluck any hairs. If I'm feeling really lazy, I just use a razor, or if I'm going to be doing my makeup and going somewhere and I don't want my skin to be red, I'll use this and sort of just shape them up with that. And then I'll just use, this is the spoolie that I use. You can use like a mascara wand and clean it out really well if you don't have one. This one is from Face Secrets. It's a dual brow and lash brush, so I use that to comb them out. I definitely don't use this side of it though, because it's like wire, so I don't use that to fill in my eyebrows. And then I use these little scissors to trim them up. And there's some other products that I use that aren't necessary, but you will see those in the video. So if you're interested in seeing this, then go ahead and keep watching. Okay, so sort of like a general rule, if you're not sure how your eyebrows are supposed to be shaped, or if you're looking for kind of like an easy way to figure out where the points of your eyebrows are going to be, just take your brush and it should start, if you take your brush at the side of your nose, it should start right here. Your arch should be from your nose to the outer part of your iris, and then the end of your eyebrow, just take your pencil and line it up like that. So if you're not sure, usually people have like a shape of their eyebrow already, and then you just sort of follow that shape, which is what I do. But if you're not sure, that's just kind of something that you can do, a tool that you can use to kind of see where it's supposed to be. So basically what I use is a spoolie, like a mascara wand. You could use like an old mascara wand if you didn't have one of these. This is a Face Secrets brush from Sally's. This side is really hard. I don't use this side. It's like wire, so I don't use that for like applying my shadow, but I do use this to sort of brush out my eyebrows. And then I always just pluck my eyebrows to what I sort of keep this shape, and then I just pluck any strays out. I always also pluck in between my eyebrows, so whenever I need to clean up, I do use that. I also use one of these little razors that you can buy at Sally's or Walmart or pretty much anywhere. And if I'm feeling lazy, I just sort of clean it up with this, and I just go down and in the middle and anywhere I need to clean up on the top edge, I just clean that area up. And then if I need to trim them, I just use these like sort of angled scissors, and what I'll do is just brush them up. You could also brush them down. A lot of people do it that way too. But for this part of my eye, well, that looks kind of crazy. So for this part of my eye, I'll brush them up, and you don't want to trim them too much because it's going to make them sparse. So I just take my scissors and just sort of trim them up here. I don't go all the way down. Right here I do them a little bit shorter, and then for this outer part of my eye, if you do it up and you trim, you're going to be left with nothing. So I like to comb it down. I try not to touch anywhere right here because that's the part that usually gets really sparse, but then I just sort of trim them, and I'm not trimming them all the way to the line, I'm just sort of trimming them up a little bit. So that's what I do. I'll go ahead and do the other side really quick. So it just kind of keeps them, you know, a little bit groomed. This side I'll do the same thing. See, mine get like super long. And just take my scissors, and then I'll comb these ones down. And just trim them up. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and fill in my brows, and I like using eyeshadows, so I'm just going to shape them how I want them. And my eyebrows are different. So this one has more of like an angle, and this one's more round. So I just kind of have to work with what I have. Okay, so when filling in my eyebrows, I like to use a MAC 263 brush, and it's just a really fine synthetic angled brush. And the two eyeshadows that I like to use are Omega and Coquette. So both of them are matte. You want to use a matte color. If you have darker hair, you want to go a shade or two lighter. If you have lighter hair, you want to go a shade or two darker. And I always like sticking with cooler colors because I just feel like it looks better on me. And most other people too. Cooler colors with not a lot of red look better on most people, unless you have like red hair, or you just kind of have to play with it and see what is going to look best and what you like. It's what you prefer, really. So I just kind of, I'll start with the Omega, and I'll just line the edge of my eyebrows on the top. I'll take it down, and then also on the bottom, I just like to line that bottom edge. And then I'll take my brush and just put it on the very tip, and then just make a line right there. And then I just brush it up to fill in that area. Now I'm going to take Omega, which is the darker shade, and I'm just going to lightly fill it in a little bit more. If I use just Coquette, did I say that was Coquette? If I use just Coquette, I feel like it's a little bit too dark, so that's why I like mixing the colors. So that's it. As you can see, it just cleans everything up a little bit, makes it look just a little bit better. So now I'm going to do this one. And this one I don't have to fill it in as much. It's a little bit darker already. And now I'm just going to brush them out to make sure that everything is blended and there are no, harsh lines or lines that you can see. Okay, so if I'm feeling really fancy, then I'll just use a brow gel and use that to hold them in place. And for highlighting, you can use like a powder to highlight your eyebrows if you want them to stand out a little bit more. I'm going to show you really quick how to really make them stand out. I'm just using a concealer. This is one from Makeup Forever, and I'm using a large shader brush, and I'm just going to take it along the underside of my eyebrow. And then I'm just going to set it with a little bit of powder, and I'm just using Brulee from WetnWild, and I'm just going to use that same brush just to set it so it doesn't go anywhere. And then I'm just going to go back in and blend a little bit. Okay, so that's it for how I do my eyebrows. I hope you guys found this helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon.